I've just made this song up. Grime War, Grime War, Grime War.
World War Grime.
World War Grime. WWG.
Yep.
Part 3. Only because that rhymed to that. Yeah, so this is episode 2.5.
2.5.
Of the Peter Spice Show. This is Chris.
And James, episode 5/2. 2.5. Yeah,
5/2. Yeah, we thought we'll do a little mini pod about well, as my eloquent song said, the Grime War that has happened recently. Yeah, so I don't know how much you know James.
Well, given that you've got 14 sheets of paper in front of you, Chris, I feel like I don't know enough.
The news has come in. Yeah, there's a lot to kind of digest. So I pulled this from Reddit, not Twitter. Yeah. So if you go on Reddit Grime and then just search within that, put dot, you will find this big list, which I'll put a link up anyway for it because it's worthy of note. Obviously, I can't go through everything because there's video links, images, which I didn't bother printing off either because
image of tweets.
Yeah. I just pulled everything from it so then we could just kind of go through a little bit of a timeline of how we got to a point where.
Yeah. So since we've been off the last couple of weeks, it's all sort of, erupted. Mainly, it's been between Wiley and Stormzy.
But little did everyone know, though, is how it all really started, because it's not started with them. So, start of the beef.
Where we're going back to? Take me back.
Just remember Halloween, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just close your eyes. It's going to be Halloween.
2019,
not 18. And, a few days before that.
Okay, I'm there.
And basically, a guy named Dot Rotten, have you heard him before? I've heard him before as well. So, the start of the beef, back in late October, basically, Dot Rotten tweeted that he was releasing a dub called Original Real Talk, aimed at the grime scene in general. He then also had an issue with J1, because J1 didn't pay him or credit him for the production of his new song called $1 Million.
Right, okay.
I don't know whether he wanted $1 million from that or if they made $1 million. If it was $1 million and if it's the UK, then we've obviously got to think about the exchange rate as well. So, I don't know. Maybe that's the reason why he didn't want to put him on there, because they're gonna have to do the exchange rate. They're gonna have to fucking understand how much money is going to be attributed back to Dot Rotten.
Yeah, the pound was.
I don't know that.
Pound's gone up since October, so maybe
they're waiting to give him more money. Who knows? So then Dot carried out by leaking J1's new song in full on Insta Live. The beef escalates.
Yep.
Dot releases the first dub of many dubs that he releases. 4 a.m. in the morgue.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Pretty much how it sounds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not going to go through lyric by lyric. I didn't get all the lyrics for that either.
Do we get the impression? Can we sort of judge this book by its cover?
These are just diss songs.
Yeah.
We won't go through the all because there's about a bazillion here. So this is J1. It then releases the second track, Original Real Talk, which is on the playlist that I did for this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Mentioning 9 of the rappers, this including P Money, Wiley, H, Tiny Temper, and more. He then releases a remix to J1's $1 Million, dissing J1 using the same instrumental. So then J1's label then copyright claim the remix.
Yep, we know all about that.
So then Dot releases J1's $1 Million instrumental on YT or YouTube. Couldn't think what that is. On YouTube, saying copyright claim this pussy.
Yeah.
Dot then challenges Steel Bangers or Bangles even to a friendly producer battle, which Bangles ignores. The next thing is beef escalates even more. What can you think could happen now?
Where are we now? Are we into
we're now that he's challenged He's challenged Steel Bangles, which he's ignored, and he's told J1's label to copyright claim this pussy after releasing
Copyright this pussy.
Yeah.
Where are we up to now?
We're still on page 1 of 7.
But we're in November now.
I mean, I don't actually have the time. I don't have the actual time. Unfortunately, they've not put on the actual times. I think this is around about November time.
That's an improvement, that. Just a little footnote.
Yeah, I probably should have done that, but I was too...
No, for the Reddit page.
Well, I mean, I could have done it though as well, to be honest, but anyway. So
where do we go from here?
Where do you think what could possibly happen to get to the Wiley versus Stormzy? I'll tell you what's going to happen. So Dot goes on Twitter, rant, stating that JME Skepta have stolen his flow and ideas from when they were younger. Dot uploads a video with evidence of what he's discussing. I've not actually watched that video. I was going to, but there's just too much stuff to happen. I didn't even realise all this had gone on anyway. So Dot releases a dub dissing JME, calling JME Flow / 96 Bars of Revenge remix, which is it's a good diss. Then out of nowhere, the same day, Dot releases another dub dissing Steel Bangles anyway, called Sorry Hanji. Again, that's another good song as well. I mean, they're all pretty decent. They're all decent diss tracks. So then it says here, beef escalates again. Dot challenges the whole grime scene to send for him if they can. So Dot's basically on a one-man mission to outdo every single grime rapper possible in the UK, and be called the King of Grime, not King of Crime, King of Grime.
Good for him.
Which is cool. I'm all for competition. I love this sort of stuff. So then Dot releases Jamie's number publicly on Twitter because Jamie tried to call him to discuss the diss tracks. There's an image of tweet there as well. Then Dot releases a video saying, "Where are the King of Grime?" Basically a bit of a rant. Then Dot releases a new track called 19th God, loosely dissing JME. It's another JME diss track. To then, a boy Wiley gets involved. Wiley jumps in on the beef, says if JME or Skepta or no one else is going to reply, he'll do it himself. Donny jumps in on the beef as well and releases a dub dissing Dot called The Warning. I don't know who Donny is. In fact, that's one song I need to listen to out of the bazillion songs there is. Page 1 of 7 done. Dot then releases 3 separate videos containing 5 dubs within 24 hours. So Dot's basically... Do you know what the background of Dot?
With regards to...
So, basically, I remember him coming up. I thought, this kid can rap. I was kind of loosely following the grime scene again back then. And it was early 2010 or something like that, or 11 or 12. And I thought, this guy can rap. He had a couple of good songs. I think there was a couple of songs not quite poppy when I was like, oh, that's okay, but he's got potential. And then I never heard from him again until I became good friends with Matt. And Matt showed me that him and P Money were dissing each other. This is back in 2015, I think this is.
All Dot's been here for a decade.
But he's got talent. He can out-rap some of these people as well. He's some really good diss tracks and he can produce as well. But he's, for whatever reason, not actually been a relevant name, really. So, which is a bit strange. But people do know who he is. So I always find it really strange when I heard that Dot was doing all this. Because he's obviously he's very much, he's very obviously confident with himself. But I think because a lot of people fucked him over the past few years, that's why he's got this sort of vendetta against everybody. So I think that's probably where it comes from. So basically, in this 24 hours, Dot released a video containing 3 dubs in one called You Man, Koki, and Warning Shot. And this is BBK and Wiley. Then releases another one called Eskimo Dance, dissing Wiley. Then thought, well, we'll just release another one as well, called Bars Up, again dissing Wiley. So beef dies down for 24 hours and then escalates again. Dot releases a 6th dub called Watch a G Shoot. This is a celebrity death match. And by the way, I've listened to most of these songs, and they're all pretty good. I got to the point where, like, okay, I get the point now, Dot. Then he released another one called Top Boy Spitter, using sampled lyrics from the Jammer and Escobar's.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, Wiley responds.
Right, okay.
With his dub, Curiosity Killed the Cat, which was a good response. Wasn't like anything amazing. Then Dot responds to the Wiley dub, called it Curiosity Killed the Wiley Cat, which was a good response. And some fans and some rappers, including Genesis, disagree with a line that Dot said about JME and Skepta. And I can't remember the line, is something about them being in a cage in Africa or something. Like a lion or something.
Right.
Yeah, again, I'm not going to go through the whole thing because this is only a mini pod. We're not going to do like a 1 hour pod about this. So then it went quiet again, James.
24 hours.
For 24 hours.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know what day we're on right now, but we're getting nearer to the New Year's, I think. Or maybe we are on New Year's. So Dot then DMs 13 MC rappers in the video below saying, "You made an alliance with my enemies. I read this and understand this message as clear as the sky on a sunny day with no clouds. Only reply if you want the smoke. GOLD Rotten, king of the grime scene." The MC rappers that DM this to are AJ Tracy, Skepti, Big Nasty, Asher D, Kano, Screwvizzer, JK, Shorty, Scratchy, Big Zoo, SAS Killer. I was going to say SAS Killer then, but Shiz, Jammer, and maybe someone else maybe. Meanwhile, Dot releases the ninth dub calling Clown Boy Killer, which I not even listened to that one actually. So Clown Boy Killer, another one. So we've done how many to Wiley? Since Wiley's responded. So one.
3 is it?
Oh, so 2 there, but he's done 7 before. Okay. So then the J1 and Dot beef starts again. J1 tweets a leak image of a contract, in quotations, that he's since deleted between J1's label and Dot, and it shows that Dot didn't get paid £5,000 as he said, but only £2,500. Dot then replies to this with a tweet that why would he lie when he got paid 15 grand? He posted a screenshot of a bank transaction of 15 grand going into his bank. This is why I printed this off, because it's just a funny thing to go through. So beef escalates even more. Out of nowhere, JK releases a dub called Shush, which is a good track. In response to Dot's DM, this is aimed at both Dot and Wiley. A few hours later, Wiley strikes while the iron is hot and releases his second dub, dissing Dot, called Disrespect, which again is another good track. Dot very quickly jumps on Insta Live and says he's going to the studio to reply to make a dub for JK. In brackets it says he does some mad things in this video, like pray to God to back him on the dub and slapping his own head. Lol. That's what it says on it. So check the video link. Wiley responds to JK's dub by tweeting saying JK's dub isn't a proper send. Dot then releases his 10th dub, dissing JK, loosely mentioning Wiley, called Janum Khan, aka Janum Khan, aka Gay K. Yep. Right. Dot then after releasing the dub, jumps on Insta Live again, says why he called JK's mum a prostitute. So basically, throughout the song, it basically says that JK's mum is a prostitute, a known prostitute. And Dot then tweets JK saying it was Grim Sickers who told him JK's mum's a prosy. I don't know who Grim Sickers is, but obviously it must be someone who's close to JK. All goes quiet again.
Yep, 24 hours.
It didn't say the time though.
5 hours.
But then ellipsis. A fan tweets Why to ask when is he replying to JK. Why responds saying, this is summarised, Never. He's with Ed and Stormzy now. Stormzy sees this tweet, which results in Wiley and Stormzy going back and forth on Twitter for a good few hours. Obviously, if anyone's not seen them, they are quite funny what they're going about. This is what I'm saying. This is all stemmed from when Dot basically wanted to destroy the scene and become the overall deity of grime. Wiley then uploads 2 videos talking about how Jay-Z, Stormzy, and Ed Sheeran are shit, and he just sit down. I'm not even watching his videos, but I can just imagine how Wiley ran anyway. Donny releases his second dub, again I don't know who this Donny guy is, called Fuck Clout. Dizzle AP, don't know who he is, jumps in the ring and then drops a dub called Nitty Behaviour dissing Dot. Wiley then tweets at AJ Tracy and Tiny Temper dissing them. Wiley seems to have settled his beef with Dot for now by saying Dot is the king of grime. Another person jumps in on the beef. SBK jumps in the ring, dropping a dub called Death by Poetry, dissing Dot, Yeezy, T Rhodes, Hoods, TB, and Ramps TBE. Obviously, something to do with them. Then Wiley vs Stormzy beef starts and other beef continues. Wiley starts tweeting at Stormzy and Twin B saying Stormzy paid for his #1 single.
Mm-hmm.
Then Wiley drops an image on Insta Twitter saying that Idiot Scam Man won. It seems like the artwork for an upcoming dub. Wiley goes on a Twitter rant aimed at Stormzy after he's already teased his dub. Wiley drops the first dub, obviously Idiot Scam Man won, which is a good track, which we'll talk about in a bit.
What we're talking now, when would that even come out? With that? Not even a week ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, about a week ago.
So we're now gone through. So I think most of a lot of the stuff was going on New Year's.
Yeah. Happy New Year. Happy 2020.
Yeah. Let's just war each other. Just diss each other.
Your mum's a prostitute.
Yeah. It's always got to be mum involved. Wiley goes on another Twitter rant after dropping his dub, trying to bait Stormzy into dropping a dub himself. He also posted a Twitter video slagging Stormzy's album title. Don't see that. When nobody expected it, Stormzy actually replies by dropping his dub aimed at Wiley called Disappointed. Wiley and a lot of fans jump on Twitter say that Stormzy called himself the King of Grime is stupid because he's done the dub on a drill beat, which we'll discuss in a bit. For some reason, Chip starts trending on Twitter as a lot of people asking him to get involved. He tweets that he's not involved in the beef. And then Joker B, whoever he is, throws in the hat in his ring by releasing a dissing Dot called Grime is Alive. Beef then progresses again. Afghan Dan,
fuck's sake,
unexpectedly joins the war by releasing a dub called Michael Jackson. Which is funny because of what we just talked about in our last episode of the podcast.
Every fucking episode.
The Mike Jack Report. Dissing Wiley and Dot Rotten. Wiley drops his video on Insta teasing his second dub, again, Idiot Scam Man 2. Wiley goes another Twitter rant by retweeting videos on YouTube about Stormzy cheating on Maya. Or Maya, even.
Yeah.
Wiley tweets that he needs 20k followers to reach 500k in total for him to release the second dub. This was ridiculous. I don't know why he kept doing it. Just release it. Stormzy was seen liking a tweet, which he quickly removed his like from, calling Wiley a nonce. Dot jumped straight back in the war. Finally, after being a little bit quiet, he's finally returned. Looking at the scene, he's returned. So dissing Stormzy, which is a good diss. Could oi Stormzy, sit back down. Wiley seems to have removed his original dubs off YouTube after that he released dissing Dot. Luckily, the person's backed them up. Wiley then retweeted Dot's dub, showing that he may have settled his beef with Dot. After teasing it for almost 24 hours, Wiley finally drops the second one, Idiot Scam Man 2, and also becomes trending #1 on YouTube. Some guy called Fuds has been on a Twitter rant about Stormzy using his brother's XTC beat without permission back in 2005 on his Shut Up track, even though XTC has stated previously that this has been sorted out.
Yeah.
JK then jumped on a podcast to explain the beef between him and Wiley. And again, I've not read everything of this, but we'll just go through a timeline right now. Wiley teases he is dropping visuals. I'll get my teeth back in for Idiot Scam Man 2. So obviously with the first one with Stormzy, we did a whole video straight up for it. Whereas obviously Wiley, for both of them, well, don't do the video for the second one anyway, but the first one, it was just obviously the album artwork. Wiley then tweets to a fan why he mentioned Maya in his second dub to Stormzy, obviously explaining what his rant was before about Stormzy cheating. Beef carries on. Dot went on a Twitter rant by tweeting Jamie asking him why he's not responded to his dubs. Why deleted his original video for Idiot Scamman 2 off YouTube so he could release it with visuals instead. So why added his visuals where he's doing very awkward dancing, but obviously didn't give a shit, does he? Because it's Wiley. Then pretty much almost after that, Stormzy dropped his second dub dissing Wiley called Still Disappointed, in which he gives Wiley 24 hours to respond. Wiley tweets explaining his actions that Stormzy mentioned in his dub. Wiley then trolls some people thinking he's throwing the towel in by tweeting that 2 dubs is enough, among other things, which he's now since deleted. Next page, which is the last page now. Dot carries on the war by dropping a dub dissing Stormzy, JK and Wiley and every other MC called The War Report 2020. Wiley quickly responds to Stormzy's 24-hour response challenge by posting an image of Idiot Scamman 3. Dot starts beef with AJ Tracy on Twitter calling him a fanboy, walking pussy and more. SBK, the guy before, jumps in the war again by releasing a dub dissing Dot, Yizzy and T-Rose called Soundboy Killer, which I think is the same people he dissed in the previous track. And then also, Stormzy's brother, Cadell, released a track called World War 3. War 2020. That's the trend. Dissing Stormzy, dressing some of the lines that Stormzy's put.
Wiley's brother.
Yeah, Wiley's brother. Wiley's younger brother, apparently. Which, if people don't know, which I didn't know too much, so basically, there was obviously a feud with. Again, if you look at, we'll go through some maybe from the lyrics anyway with the tracks, but Stormzy and Cadell have actually had a bit of history. So, he has arranged between around. It was feud. That year, he dropped a diss track aimed at Stormzy. So in 2015, he dropped a diss track aimed at Stormzy called Hotline, which essentially said that he was a better rapper going as for to include such lyrics as, "I've got a MOBA last year. I could have got a MOBA last year if I tried." In the follow-up Hotline 2. Considering Stormzy just scored that award, it didn't take much for people to connect the dots. Months later, many fans suspected the lyrics, "Man try say he's better than me, tell my man shut up," in the artist's colossal single "Shut Up" were aimed at Cadell. It's certainly plausible that we suspect that he had more than a few names in mind. So obviously they've had an issue since the big single that got Wiley to where he is now. Obviously there's been a bit of bad blood. So do you feel caught up now? Do you feel enlightened?
I feel like...
Do you feel like you can go listen to all those songs?
The last, what is that, 3 months worth? Is that only 3 months? Jesus. Not even 3 months?
It's not really 3 months, because
2 months,
almost all of them have come in the last month, really.
Yeah.
All the tracks.
I feel up to date. I feel like I know what's going on.
Do you feel like you know the Grime War now?
World War Grime.
When you talk to your grandkids in X amount of time, and you go, "Oh,
I was there.
Sonny Jim, I was there in the Grime War. In fact, we did a podcast about it."
This will be listening to in years to come.
In fact, you wouldn't have to say anything. You go, "Look, Sonny boy, go on to Apple Plus, Super Plus, Surplus, and Spotify Surplus, and listen to it there on the podcast." That's basically what you're going to do. Is that going to be verbatim?
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm presuming you have listened to all 4 tracks.
I've listened to the main ones. They've all been.
The one we're going to actually talk about. We're not going to talk about every goddamn track because, like I said, there's a bazillion tracks that as you can tell, he just could not stop. Dubbing everyone. How do you feel about Dot Rotten's point of trying to just basically shake up the game?
I think it's I get it, but I don't know. Do you not think it gets a bit after months and months? I mean, it's clearly working it to a point.
For someone who I love beef in hip hop. not because I don't want anyone to get actually hurt, but when it's the spirit of the competition, because it is competitive. You know, when you know, if you ever gone to like a rap battle, like, you know, you might see them on like YouTube right now. I've seen someone sub live as well. It is just that competition of just trying to outmaneuver the next person, and in some cases, I prefer it like this because you can respond a lot easier to a lyric, for example, that someone says, and then almost flip it back on them or something like that. And that's what I like about it all. It is almost excessive. It's very excessive in terms of what he's doing, because, you know, I wouldn't mind just one track or 2 tracks dissing everyone for like 10 minutes each. I wouldn't mind that. But all these tracks are about 2-3 minutes long. And he's probably released 20 tracks. I listened to most of them.
Yeah, I feel like as well, I can't imagine some people. I feel like AJ Tracy's got better stuff to do than B.
But this is where we'll go with Stormzy. Stormzy's got better things to do. And Stormzy's not really...
But that's because he had Wiley coming for him. It's different being Wiley and being...
Yeah, I get that, but it's that competitive nature.
Yeah.
It's almost that's calling you out. That's what I always liked about it, you know, back in the day. You know, there's rappers like Joe Budden who, you know, is known for it quite a bit. But when some people... Like he basically did like almost like a diss to a guy called Saigon who should have been massive. But like, I think maybe someone was mentioned to him or something like that. Or I don't know, whatever was going on. And he just went out and put a diss track out, like a semi-diss track. It was like a soft diss track, trying to almost bait him into sort of a battle. And then Saigon didn't respond. Saigon was not a battle rapper, and it was a terrible track. But then Joe obviously had all this information. Thought, right, I'm just going to diss him even further. And then Saigon actually came back, and then Just Blaze, who Saigon was signed with, and he told Joe not to respond. Let's just all call it and let's just leave it as that, which was annoying because I really wanted Joe to respond to that one. But it's like I like it. I like it when it's like when it's one person against everybody. I don't think I've ever known that in the non-grime sort of side of things of hip hop. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Especially this many people.
I mean, there's a lot of people. Yeah. And a lot of big names that Dot's calling out as well. And some of that are recently big, and some of that have been established, like, you know, people like Kano and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting that no one will probably know about how it's actually got to that point, to where we got one of the founders of the sort of niche genre of hip hop, which is grime, to the most current and relevant UK artists worldwide. It's quite interesting, really. It's kind of...
And then in like 2 months as well.
Yeah.
Since Halloween.
So it's because of Halloween. That's the reason why. So obviously the first one is Eddie X Man 1. Well, he called it one as well, didn't he? So obviously he knew he was going to do another one.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, but I mean, obviously he knew it'd have had them all written out.
Well, I think apparently it's all been bloody orchestrated anyway. So
I think it was a decent start.
My main issue with it is so I am someone who comes from the school of, if you're gonna diss someone, either diss them on one of their biggest like songs, about their instrumentation, or you choose like a classic like beat that has been used in the past to diss someone else. Or maybe I send some shots or something like that. The fact that he used the Holy Grime beat from Godfather 1 annoyed me. Obviously, it's a fucking dope beat though, so I can't complain about that. The beat's really, really good. But it's like you could have like you could have like gone and shut up or something like that, and just like grimed out easily. Because that's the thing with Wiley. The problem we'll go on to when we get to the second one is that Wiley's skill is so perfect in terms of how he raps that you can put him on anything. It's gonna sound good because he's got that skill level, which is better than almost any of most of the grime rappers anyway. No one can match that level because he's got such an infection. When he's on it, like on that sort of beat, you can pretty much say that he's gonna ride it out and say something. So what did you think about, maybe I've got lyrics in front of me, but like what do you think about, you know, things he was saying? If you can remember anything he was saying.
I'm going to say his business, but not very much in it.
So yeah, I mean obviously the thing is with Wiley, I think we'll touch it with the second one as well. Is that it is mainly. It's mainly, you know, it's him saying he is number one. He's kind of pretty much. Yeah, there's a lot. He says a lot in 2 minutes. As James is looking at the lyrics that I printed off, just so we could
try to separate which one's which.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a strong start. I think because I always feel like Wiley's got something in the tank still every single time, and I think more and more I listened to the track, the more I felt it had more punch to it than it first did. I kept listening to it. And actually, no, there's a lot more punches than there. You realise because of how he flows as well. He says it so quickly that you might not catch them in the lyrics. That's why I look at some of the lyrics and I'm not going to go for a deep dive of the lyrics at all. We don't have to, but. You know, I think, you know, he does obviously mention about. I think he mentions briefly about him and his brother, doesn't he, on the first one as well. And like the chorus is really well, you know, basically saying that I can hear my style, in all 5 of your big singles for this recent album. Kind of that's pretty much what this whole thing is about. You know, really. I don't know. He didn't need to be the king of grime though. Wiley, he could just be the godfather of grime. That's pretty much enough as a title, because you did create it. But I don't know why. I don't know. He's obviously just wanted to, you know, do the pissing contest and say, look, I'm you're here because of me. I'm number one. That's why. You know, I can hear all the style from me in you. So try and prove me wrong.
Yeah. So do you think it's still? Do you think there's stuff that's been held back so far then that is still?
Yeah, I'll go for it on the second one, but yeah, definitely. I think he's got something else. We'll go to the second. If he's doing number 3, which we could again at the time of recording has not been released, even though it's past the 24 hours, nearly 48 hours since, then I reckon he's going to come with a knockout blow.
Wiley.
Yeah, he's got something stashed. There has to be.
But why would you wait this long?
Because it's like a fight, isn't it? Like, you know, you're in a few rounds in a boxing match. You're still testing people, trying to wear that person out, and then you come in with a knockout punch. That's how I look at beef sometimes. That's how Joe's always done it. He's always had a case where he's had all this information, and he gets all this dirt and he keeps it there. He'll outbar anyone with ease. But then look at Pusha T, when against Drake, when Pusha had that information, it was all well crafted in that.
Yeah.
But he even said at the end, he still got more. He was waiting for a reply by Drake because he wanted to get a rise out of Drake, mainly because of that. What's Drake's producer called again? About the MS line.
I know what you mean. But...
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why he did the MS line, to make sure he does actually get a rise and get him to actually reply. So he's got all this other information to say. That's that's how you kind of play the game. That's why then I'll go into number 2. Well, we'll go into number 2 in a bit, but like that's why I feel like he was still holding back, but he was just showing on this one. This is grime. This is a grime sort of, you know, diss track. This is me rapping how I've always rapped forever. You know, see what you can do. But yeah.
And then, disappointing. Disappointing come out pretty quickly, didn't it?
It came out within 24 hours, I think. Yeah. And
I mean, to start off with, the whole drill beat thing, I don't really give a shit about that one.
In terms of competition, I'm not bothered.
I get it, but like, if you're gonna have a problem with anything of it, and if that's the biggest problem you could find with it, then
I'm not bothered.
No.
You know, at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not even bothered these days in terms of you got 24 hours to reply and shit like that, which we'll talk about obviously in the last one. I don't care about time limit as long as if it keeps going until a point where the one person submits, goes, right, I'm not releasing anything anymore. Then that's when it changes a bit. But I think Disappointed was very, very well crafted. And yeah, despite it being on drill beat, was it Heady One's track or something? I think it was Heady One's sort of original beat. And yeah, I think it was just funny about like how it just pretty much started off with, you know, about the whole G checking his brother, and obviously almost addressing Cadell without saying Cadell, you know, and yeah, I think it was really, really interesting in terms of that, because he mentioned it at the beginning, he mentioned it right at the end of it as well, yeah. But what did you think of it? What was your thoughts?
I like it. I like that it's a bit more personal.
Yeah, you know what the funny thing is about it as well? Is it talks about the whole suck your mum thing, didn't it? So no, we don't talk about that. All joke, you know. But right in Stormzy's album, he tells someone to go suck your mum.
Oh yeah. Just not this time.
So that's why I didn't understand. Obviously, this is where the whole, you know, the mother jabs start to happen when Wiley starts talking about a little bit about the mother.
I think there are bits of it that, like, some people said that it's sort of kind of easy jabs at Wiley, which is like, you know, fair enough.
The whole cracker thing, everyone calls him a cracker because he's a bit crazy, and who knows? No one's proved that he is like smoke or doing cocaine. You got to pad your song out a bit, haven't you? Yeah, but the thing is, it doesn't have to be like actual factual. That's the thing. Like, it's just you don't have to be super personal either. You can just outbar someone, or just, you know, say that I think you do this. You know, you can easily say that. It doesn't have to be like, you know, 100% concrete. It can be, you know, there's really no. That was the issue again with the MS line with Pusha. It obviously deterred a lot of people. Said I was a bit too far. And I went, well, it's hip hop. Like it's just, there's no limit. There's no real rules. Obviously, you got to be, you know, in terms of like anything racial or something. Obviously, you got to be careful, especially if it's a white person versus a black person. But in terms of like battling, there's no holds barred. That's what it's always been. It's always been like that. And not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying that is basically how it's always worked out to be. So obviously, as I mentioned in the timeline, Wiley didn't get to 500k followers, but he still released it anyway after 24 hours. Idiot Scamman 2. Yeah, Idiot Scamman 2.
Which was what? Was this like 3 days ago now? Like Tuesday, was it? Tuesday night, I feel like.
It must have been now, yeah. Yeah. And again, right, just pure grime because it's Wiley's flow. I think it's still a good track. It's just him. I do like when rappers bar out, and there is obviously some personal stuff that you just mentioned a little bit about, like in the first one about, you know, not going Maya's cool. I'm not going to mention the Maya thing, and then he just say something a little bit later on, I think, as well. But it's just him almost saying, look, you wouldn't have existed without Skepta. You know, he mentioned like a little, I don't know whether this conversation did actually happen, but it was like, what did he say with, bro called me, took him a brick. He said, Clash Stormzy, what's all this? I said, with Big Mike, it shouldn't be this, but without us, he wouldn't exist. So it's almost, again, it's the same topics that he's gone through on the first one. But I think the first one had maybe a few more jabs in it, a few more punches. I mean, I really should have gone through the lyrics probably before we did this podcast, but I think that's where I feel the first one probably is a little bit better, only because I do like the beat a lot more as well.
What, Wiley?
Yeah, the first one, yeah. But I think this one's still a really good follow-up to Disappoint. I think it's on the equal level in a way, but it's not, because Stormy's gone through the personal route. Stormy kind of will always win in that way. Because he's gone way too personal in terms of what he was saying, rather than why he's then gone and resorted to do that in some of the lyrics throughout the song. But I don't think it's as effective. It's still great. It's still brilliant. Yeah, it's not as effective.
It's I don't know. There's some kind of just similar stuff as well, isn't there?
He's treading on the same grind as the first one. That's the issue that I think everyone's got.
Yeah, it's the. And as well, the whole argument of, I influenced you. Like, everyone knows that. It's, you know, you can keep saying it, but, you know, the Ed Sheeran thing as well. I feel like him going on Twitter about it as much as well kind of downplays this, because you see him chatting shit about it that much on Twitter. It's like he'd been sentenced to 6 months.
So speaking of Ed Sheeran, right. So if you listen to the previous episode, I put a little breadcrumb in there, saying I'll talk about Black Midi. So Black Midi released a send for Ed Sheeran called Dead Sheeran. I'd not listened to it properly yet. I just couldn't stop laughing when I saw it. And yeah, so if anyone wants to know what the Black Midi versus Ed Sheeran thing, just check it out.
Yep.
I just found it randomly on the Grime Reddit, and I just couldn't stop laughing when I saw it. So then,
now we're on to Still Disappointed, which was the same Wednesday, something like that.
It was Wednesday, because it was when I was finishing work. It was Wednesday. It was like Wednesday night, wasn't it?
I suppose this is where it gets like super.
So it uses the beat from Mic Check 1-2, which Kano used back in the day. So it's a grime beat. Whether people think it's not a grime beat, it really is a grime beat. It's probably an original grime beat. And I think Kano was like, I had a few little jabs thinking about Wiley on that track as well. But it's a fucking cool track though. It's really good beat. And Stormzy brings the heat, really. I think that's the best way of saying it. He delves even deeper than what he did previously.
Just hope that Wiley's mum won't know it.
Hopefully Wiley's mum is not, maybe she's in Cyrus or Cyprus. Yeah, it's what a bit of information, whether it's true or not. Because he even says it in it, well, this is grime. It doesn't have to be true or not. This is grime. We just say what it is and see what happens. Whether those bars are actually true, I'm not too sure. But yeah, obviously he dresses the drill thing as well, which I thought was quite funny. Yeah, I think it shows like when Stormzy can. This is what I think a lot of people wanted with Push when Drake did this push. Can Push? Everyone knows he's a great rapper. Can he actually? If someone does diss him, does he have the sort of battle?
I think especially with Stormzy being sort of, more mainstream than Pusher is as well.
Well, he's the zeitgeist of
does he actually have is he going to be shit scared about his image and stuff like that? And apparently not.
And again, he also shot a video with this one, I believe the first one, hold a cup of tea, smoking whatever we can think it could be smoking. And obviously Wiley's, the only video he released was obviously the second one, which is obviously mocking him.
Yeah, I've not actually seen the video yet.
We'll probably put it on after the podcast.
But listen to it.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing, but he's just drinking some tea as well. Yeah, I think pretty much Stormzy's kind of beating him to the punch. Again, I'm not going to go through all the lyrics and stuff like that. I'll print them off, but just listen to the tracks, you can tell. I think it's also important when these sort of tracks happen is kind of how a rapper does it. If you're just really casual about it, it's not really going to be effective. But they've both really just kind of gone in and gone, right, we're much like almost all Dot Rotten's ones, pretty much him screaming. It's kind of the same thing really, where they both really came up to it, and they both delivered really good songs, and this is a good little feud. Whether we'll get round 3, I don't know.
I think we've got to be now.
Well, the thing is that as of today, so it was late last night, so today's a Friday, so it was late last night on Thursday, so within 20 minutes before the 24 hours were up, Wiley supposedly tweeted whether it's actually Wiley's account or not, saying that he was going to shoot the video for the third one, and then nothing was heard until this morning, where he was just carried on as normal. So I don't know. Apparently it's there. Apparently the audio is there. It's ready. When we hear it, I don't know.
We'll see.
Whether Stormzy can't get into the next, whether it's actually orchestrated and Stormzy can't get to the third one, to do a third one. Maybe that's the reason why. I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, so are we both in agreement that Stormzy won both rounds?
Overall, I think you know.
That's why Wiley's got to come with the knockout.
Yeah,
the TKO.
Yeah.
He's got to come with the knockout of the third one. Or the
this is what you think. You've got to think that you've got to think he had more to come into it with than just what he's already.
Maybe he didn't realise that Storm was going to come with that heat on the second one.
That's all I can think. All I can think is that if he,
it's hard to go first though. This sort of thing.
Yeah, if it's not, you know, orchestrated or whatever, then maybe Wiley just didn't think that it were gonna. Maybe even the first one didn't think that it were gonna know what were gonna happen, and so we'll see.
Yeah,
remains to be seen.
That is the current update on the mini pod that turns out probably to be longer than the pod than we thought it was going to be. But yeah, I think the last thing we want to kind of talk about, which is something we did actually allude to, is JME's album, Grime MC.
Yeah, Jimmy, Grime MC.
Who's been dissed 7 times by Dot Rotten recently.
They don't care.
No, they don't need to do anything. Yeah, so obviously you got the vinyl. You lent it to me, which I've listened to. I think I've listened to it once actually. And I've got to listen to it again. But what's your thoughts on the album?
Yeah, I really liked it. I've listened to it a few times probably before I gave it to you when it did first come out.
It's 18 tracks.
Yeah, it's not long, is it? It's just under an hour, I think. About
I think it's probably about around that.
But yeah, I really liked it. I think, given that it's been, 4 years since Integrity, is it?
Yeah.
2016, I think, would that come out?
2015, I think.
Yeah, so a while.
It might be 2016 actually, because I'm just trying to think because Matt and I were talking about it a lot of time when it came out, so I wonder if it must have been 2016.
Yeah, it's just sort of everything I wanted from a Jamie album, really. It's got great lyrics, funny lyrics, really good beats.
And I think Jamie's style is just
it's
so unique. I think that's the thing. One of Dot's disses. Dot raps like Jamie, and it's just got this like unique sort of comedy sort of style. But then it's like it still kind of works because again, it's like you talk about like lyrics that kind of really can be out of context, but like how they move into the next lyric is always quite important. And I think even if they sound really like dumb or stupid, it's just he knows that. He knows it may sound like that, but it's the way the delivery is. It's the incompetence, the beat, all that sort of stuff. And I think you get almost everything out of this. This is to me what Godfather was for Wiley. You get every bit of what Wiley is in terms of all the different sort of codes that you can do with grime, and then but still being Wiley, and then
you got the tracks.
The tracks in there. And then you just got him. He raps his ass off. He's got all these sort of the. I think I really like that first track, was it's kind of talking about. I think it's 96 of my life. So basically 96 bars of his life.
Yeah.
How he got to like where he is now, and he's got a family now, and all that sort of stuff. And I really like that track because I think at the end, I think the last track is Brothers and Sisters, which again is an uplifting sort of track as well, which I really liked. So yeah, I think I hope, although I might have to get it a CD maybe, so I can put it up onto my.
Yeah, well, I think it is because when it first got released, there were people saying about it being physical only and having a problem with it, but I think it's on. You can buy it on Amazon to download. I think now.
Yeah.
I think he has said that it is going to be eventually on streaming.
Which is what I said to you before.
Yeah,
exactly. My prediction was that it would be this month or next month that it was going to be on streaming platforms. So,
but I still think that's it's a decent way of doing it because the people who really want to listen to it are going to go listen to it first, aren't they? And then
you can't get the vinyl now, can you? Because the vinyl's limited.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm not nipped to my local HMV, so so I'm not sure if it's there or not. But yeah, I think it's a great album if you can get a hold of a copy, whether it's a CD, vinyl, or if you want to wait till it comes out on on any streaming platforms, or if you want to purchase it digitally, do so. I think if you like grime, you like JME, it's perfect for all that.
I think worth the wait. I think.
Yeah, definitely. I think definitely worth the wait, and I think. I just hope that it'd be. I mean, if BBK drops an actual full album,
You mean ever, or?
Like a full album, like a full project together.
I don't know if they have, to be honest. I think we just...
So why? Because like, or even if it was Jamie and Skepta or something like that, I would love to hear both of them just have a whole album together where they actually curate the album like that. Because the kid's talented. He's also, you know, entrepreneur with the was it the Pokemon cards or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like, you know, he's got some great ideas, and I think this is a great message that, you know, trying to keep sort of vinyl alive and physical releases alive, and obviously, I think people now, obviously close to me because I worked at HMV, but I'm keeping something like HMV alive, you know, keeping people go there. So hopefully, you know, I don't know if I want it to be a trend or not. Again, well, I mean, I want to talk about like a good topic about sort of physical and streaming and stuff like that, but whilst we're on this bit here now, I don't know whether I want it to be a trend, because there's just so much. There's so much to come out now.
Yeah, and I think especially when you think about, probably comparatively, when vinyl were, you know, at its peak sort of thing, the cost of it compared to now, you know, there is an argument for streaming not being, you know, great for artists, but I don't know, you can't expect for people to go out paying £25 for every album they want to listen to.
Yeah, exactly. When there's so much, like, so many artists, people make like a ton of artists.
Yeah.
And we live in again, it's just something I really want to topic it about, but we live in an era, obviously, where singles is more, or making a playlist is more of a thing than anything else. So, I don't know. But, yeah, good album. Check your stuff, because I think some of his stuff's come back onto some streaming platforms. I think it weren't available at one point. Some of his also. So check him out. I'm sure anyone who's listened to this is a Grime fan, so you'd imagine so anyway. So, yeah, that's our little mini pod that's turned into more of a pod, but we'll still call it a mini pod.
Mini pod, Grime War, World War Grime,
Wiley vs Stormzy,
plus Jamie review. Yeah, next episode, whenever, who knows?
Never. This is it. This is the downfall. The war's going to come to us, and that's it. We can't do anything.
Banned from Canada.
We got war with Canada. Continue for episode 2. We've got war with Canada. We might release a dub against Canada. Who knows? Maybe we'll shoot a music video and just get a cup of tea and just do a little jig. But anyway, yeah, that's our little sort of, you know, we want to give a little timeline of what's going on, because we thought we both like Wiley and Stormzy, so, you know, we want to kind of we might have to do a mini pod when we actually get
episode 2.75,
76, 7, 8, 9.
But yeah, boom. Until next time.
Peace out. 8 times.